You know, you've referenced Nick Bosa a few times this morning. It sure feels like they learned a lesson from the Nick Bosa thing. I'm talking about the 49ers.
Well, Nick Bosa, I heard he got another $20 extra million. They thought they had a number in mind, and Nick Bosa was like, yeah, we're not budgeting unless I get this. And Nick Bosa was, I mean, when you look at the defense, he is indispensable. He's a little pass rusher, man. You need Nick Bosa, number 2 overall pick. And that's why, you know, you said this. I remember I'll never forget this. We're talking about DeForest Buckner. And we both agreed. And we were devastated by the Buckner trade. Some people still haven't let it go. There's something about having homegrown players and taking care of your own, developing them, extending them, making sure they're lifelong 49ers. Same thing with the Warriors, developing. The Celtics have developed. And just developing Aiyuk and the work it took to develop Brandon Aiyuk to make him the player that he is. And now when it comes to an impasse, when it comes to his money, and maybe he's asking for way too much money. $30 million a year, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I agree, that is a lot. But I have a hard time letting go of homegrown players when they become valuable. Same thing with Nick Bosa. I get it. You have to pay him at some point. And think about the rhetoric once Nick Bosa held out. And all the excuses he made and how like even you're the biggest Nick Bosa fan out there. And you were so down on him after the end of the season, watching him on the sideline on the final drive.
I mean, giving a guy quarterback money, I'm just hesitant to. Like, these deals are big, dude. Like, I look at one bad deal can harpoon your team in the NFL for at least a couple years. Daniel Jones. It's a horrible deal for the New York Giants. I look at the one that's way worse is Deshaun Watson. You give $200 million guaranteed to a guy that stinks.
And Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, it's the horrible contract.
Well, what do you think that when he first signed it? I
mean, he was suspended for the year.
I know.
Like, while going through that whole thing. I don't know. I feel like the league, the NFL, can you wiggle out of a $20 million dead cap? Yeah, the Rams did it with Todd Gurley. You know, the Niners are going to try to do it this year with Eric Armstead. You can do it. $100 million? That's where you get yourself in trouble. And so when I look at the Aiyuk thing, like, you can make $20 million mistakes, the Niners, in terms of guarantees. They did it with Javon Kinlaw. Essentially, it was a $20 million contract over the life of it. $80 million, $65 million, that's where you get yourself in trouble. My uncle, who's one of the smartest people I know, he said to me, for us normal people, I said, Joe, you can make $100 mistakes till you're blue in the face. That will not make you go broke. You might even be able to get away with a bunch of $1,000 mistakes. It's the $100,000 mistakes that do people in. They buy the boat that they don't need. They buy the third car that they don't need, or the fourth car that's way out of their price range. They buy multiple homes that are way over the top that they can't afford. Like, when you make the $100,000 mistakes at normal people level, you do get yourself into trouble. So I look at, like, football teams and I correlate that to them, and I'm like, you can make some 10, 15, and $20 million mistakes. You cannot make $65 million mistakes.
Can't do that in any sport, for that matter.
You're probably right.
We're looking at the Giants right now with Blake Snell. Does it look like a $32 million mistake? Right now it does. Right?
Absolutely.
But sometimes you got to take that chance. Sometimes you got to, you can't, you're going to make mistakes. The Niners made a mistake with Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying?
It is sad, but it's true.
It is sad. It's true, Robin. It is. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, an Odyssey Sports Station, always live on the free Odyssey app. Don't forget, you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter streams, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal First Class Money Market today. Let's go to Jeff in San Mateo. Jeff, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. A long-time listener. Appreciate everything you guys do for the Bay and the sports scene here. As a over 40-year San Francisco 49er fan going out to Candlestick, I've got to say that the Niners are in absolute perfect position to make it and win it this year. And I think Brandon Aiyuk would be a perfect example to reward, regardless of how crazy the money is. He has been an absolute stout player in every manner that I can see and hear. and believe that he's got to be paid. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, it's a risk. But I'm a full supporter of the Niners signing him for whatever they have to pay as a reward and an incentive to the rest of the team that when their time comes, they will treat him fairly.
Yep, and the Niners have for the most part. They have for the most part. Good call, Jeff. At least with Brock Purdy. And we don't have to have a deep dive when it comes to Brock Purdy. And this is not a rip job on Brock Purdy. I'm not criticizing Brock Purdy. I'm not questioning his level of play, Shasky. I'm happy with Brock Purdy. I'm happy with Brock Purdy. Cut that up, Spadoni. I am happy with Brock Purdy.
No.
But doesn't it feel like now we've gotten really comfortable with whatever number Brock Purdy gets? And most fans, 49er fans, will say, yeah, that's fine. Give him the bag, whatever it is. $100 million guaranteed, $120 million guaranteed, 40 a year, 50 a year. There's no question marks, it feels like, when it comes to Brock Purdy. It's money.
I don't know.
It feels like because we backpedal when it comes to Brock Purdy. We bring up the contract when Jay York said, "Oh, we're going to reset the quarterback market with Brock Purdy." It's like, whoa.
Okay, let's go back to supply and demand. What's harder to find?
No doubt those quarterbacks harder to find. There's no doubt.
All right.
There's no doubt. But you can still make that mistake.
And I think the second he inks a deal, yeah, everything's going to get scrutinized. And there's going to be a number that is uncomfortable for everyone. There's going to be people saying they shouldn't have paid him. Like, I disagree on that. I mean, there were people angry about Jimmy Garoppolo. He should have franchise tagged him and not re-signed him in that offseason that the Niners gave him the mega deal. There were people mad at Trey Lance. I don't agree with that. I would also say that...
You don't think people are just comfortable with that?
No.
No? Not at all?
No.
With Brock Purdy? You think people are going to question mark the contract?
I think today, a year removed from when the contract will actually hit, once we're actually talking about the negotiations and the possibility of him inking any day, I think it changes everything.
Well, I just all I hear about in every article I read, well, you got to have your money for Brock Purdy. Like, it's already baked in that they're going to give him all this money. And it's like, boy, when I watch Brock Purdy without one of his weapons in Debo and one of his left tackles in Trent Williams, and it looked pretty.
If they give him a 3-year deal, right? So just like hypothetically, they give him a 3-year deal with, let's just say, $140 million guaranteed. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
3 years.
Well, that's a good deal though for quarterback money.
You don't think Brock Purdy's going to want more than 3 years?
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just going on the low end here, right? It's like $45 million. Everyone's gonna go, wow, he took a discount, right? What if they give him a 7-year, $450 million deal with $280 million guaranteed? I think people are going to lose their minds, right? So, like, I need to know what the deal is. He's getting $50 million, B, a year, like he is.
Oh,
it's harder to find a quarterback.
I know he is.
And I would add this to you. He's been better throughout the body of his resume than Aiyuk.
I don't know about that.
It's how's that arguable?
Come on,
I mean,
Aiyuk and Purdy had a great rapport.
But they've been great.
I mean, Aiyuk went 1,000 yards with 3 different quarterbacks.
Okay, and
Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, and freaking Brock Purdy.
Purdy started 30 games. He's been as close to the top 5.
He's been
at
good.
His position.
But has Aiyuk not been a top 10 wide receiver the last 2 years?
Last 2, but not the first 2.
Well, the first year he was a rookie.
But that,
didn't play.
that
come on, man.
We can't. But that's why Amon-Ra St. Brown is getting his money.
And then the way we talked about Jimmy Garoppolo, that was Brandon Aiyuk's quarterback. And Brandon Aiyuk's been very outspoken. When people on Instagram Live are saying, who would you rather have, Trey and Jimmy? Trey, easy.
I don't know. If you think that Aiyuk has been better than Brock Purdy throughout the body of their careers,
he's been as good the last 2 years.
I just don't think we're watching the same thing.
He's been as good the last 2 years. It's been as good the last 2 years. Plays every game.
Last year,
blocks.
Look at this. Last year, he was elite. I didn't think he was elite the year prior. He was really good.
He was really good. 1,000 yards.
Purdy's been close to elite.
You know how hard that is?
For 30 straight games.
1,000 yards with 3 different quarterbacks?
It is difficult.
3 different quarterbacks.
In this
and in the first year, you do it with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Kittle did it too.
With Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback. And he damn near had 1,000 yards.
Kittle and Debo have the same argument as Aiyuk.
And they got paid, right? Big boy money.
Yes, they did. But
why can't we pay Aiyuk his big boy money?
You can't afford everyone.
You can this year.
Well,
James in Oakland. And then we'll get to You Don't Know Jack. James, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, baby?
Hey, here's my thought process behind this. Let's say Aiyuk is making $13 million a year, right? So let's round that down to 12. He's making $1 million a month. And if you break that down per game, he's making $250,000 a game. Let's say that you double that, and he's making $500,000 a game, $24 million a year. I think that's a reasonable price. What do you guys think?
I think that's reasonable. I would think it's reasonable. But Aiyuk's maybe looking at Deebo Samuel saying, I'm more valuable on this football team right now than Deebo Samuel. That could be a real thing. Could be a real thing.
I can see that. And it's always the grass is greener on the other side. You know, if he was going to make $500,000 a game and win a Super Bowl, is that a deal that he's not going to take? Your thoughts?
I can't get in guys' heads. Some guys want the Super Bowl because they want the legacy and all that. Not that the other guys don't, but money is the number one priority, and other things don't take precedence. Some people want to live in certain areas. Like I can't speak for what he's got as his algorithm.
All right, let's do this here. It's time for You Don't Know Jack. Presented by Jack's Restaurant and Bar. I'm not going to get me a Jack burrito today. This week, the Golf Channel did not know Jack about what former Texas Longhorns and Titans quarterback Vince Young looked like. Go ahead, take it away, Spadone.
Vince Young playing this week, and he's down with Florida.
Played 6 seasons in the NFL, arguably one of the best NCAA quarterbacks of all time at Texas. Picked up golf about 4 years ago. What's the biggest shift you make going from the ultimate team sport to now the ultimate individual sport?
Now, I apologize. You have the wrong person. I'm Everett Sands over at Citadel. So, I'm a football coach. But the thing is, the great thing about golf is that I'm not only competing against myself, but I'm competing against everybody else.
This is your first pro-am ever played, and what's the best part of being out here?
Well, being out here is a great thing. And have an opportunity to play with some professional golfers is a intimidating thing, but also a great thing.
Good luck this weekend.
Hey, I appreciate it.
It is sad, but it's true.
What? How?
Point of interest, Vince Young was participating in this golf tournament, but still.
Looks nothing like him, by the way.
What a horrific mistake.
No.
Oops. Was Vince Young a participant in this tournament?
That's what he just said.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the You Don't Know Jack part. My bad. I'll pull the Shasky there.
You beat me to my own line.
Shout out to the coach there for like how cool he was about it. He was very cordial about it. You know, I'm sorry. That's not
Have you ever had that happen? Has anybody ever you ever approached somebody thinking they were someone more popular and they were not?
Trying to think.
Because I haven't admitted
sure I have.
Not a celebrity. I went to an event. I'm not going to say what it was. And I stood there and I was talking with someone and I thought he was someone else and he wasn't. And I referenced his father. And I was like, yeah, I ran into your dad. He's like, huh? My dad's no longer with us. And Michelle was watching the entire thing. And I was like, oh. And I tried to backtrack. And I was like, I just admitted, I'm like, you know what? I thought you were someone else. And he's like, really? I've known you. And I was like, oh boy. And Michelle laughed and made fun of me.
You knew this person?
I confused them.
Oh my God.
Yes, I confused them. I was a little out of my skis.
See, that's if it was like someone you just met, like that's one thing. But you've known this person and you thought they were someone else.
I didn't really know them, but I thought I knew them, and then I totally messed it up.
My guy, 650 Xfinity Mobile Text Line. I thought Bill Lasky was Gaylord Perry.
Oh, my God. Come on.
Shout out to Bill Lasky.
I love Bill Lasky, but come on.
Hey, Monte, real quick, if you've been in that situation, because you're on TV, obviously, you have to apologize, right?
Absolutely.
You have to just go, I am so sorry. My mistake.
You do it right on the spot.
Yeah, right away.
Like, she was oblivious to it. She didn't care. She didn't care that she was being disrespectful.
Like you hand on the shoulder. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You laugh it off, something like that.
Yeah, and it was like,
you go, really?
You guys always want to bring that up. You just always want to bring that up. It's always fun game. I mean, I'm not
you talking to me.
If that was the answer he gave.
No, seriously, like you apologize right away.
Oh,
like,
I did.
So you just correct yourself. Oh, I'm so disappointed in this Lauren lady, Lauren Winthrow. Should
we get her on?
No.
Should we get her on?
So,
Matt,
talked to somebody.
I have her best friend's neighbor's cousin's phone. Should we text them?
I talked to somebody yesterday.
Don't miss that break,
I'll
dog.
use it for Steiny and Goo.
I talked to somebody yesterday about who somebody was. I was doing some investigating, and they say, "Oh, I think he'll be a great guest on your show." I said, "The hell he would. He ain't never come on this damn show with the way he's talked to us on Twitter." The hell?
Who's that?
Oh, GGG Giants. I didn't know he wrote for SF Gate.
So that could
This
be
guy
one of
tweets at us like a bot, and then he's writing for SF Gate. Wait, you're a media member coming at us the way he comes at us?
If I wanted to hear Giants' point of view, I'd just talk to Mark.
Or listen to Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys.
Make sure you don't miss that break, bro.
Mark who? Mark Willard?
Grandy's got good
Oh, I'm
Giants
sorry.
taste.
I was thinking about the wrong person.
Oh, that was You Don't Know Jack, brought to you by Jack's Restaurant and Bar. Locations in Pleasant Hill, San Bruno, San Mateo, San Jose, and Newark, California. You can also order on